In this video, we're going to talk about how to write an equation of a line that is perpendicular to a given line that's passing through a given point. So here's our first example. So we have this equation, and we need to write an equation of a line that's perpendicular to this, and it's passing through this given point. So you've seen examples like this with parallel. So the only difference is we're going to use perpendicular. So if we start looking at this on a graph, the first thing we were going to do is go ahead and graph this, because it says graph the line that is given. So let's go ahead and graph that. So the y-intercept's 4, so that's where we're going to start. So we're going to start up at 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And our slope is 2. So let me just write this old line. Y equals 2x plus 4. Your slope is 2, so that really means it's 2 over 1. So that means up to right 1, since it's positive. Y-intercept is 4, so that's where you're going to start. So we're going to go up to right 1, up to right 1. And then you can backtrack. Let's go down to left 1. And then go ahead and connect that with a straight edge. And we're going to make sure we label this line. Put your arrows on, label it y equals 2x plus 4. So there's the old line. So then what we're going to do is we are going to find the line that is perpendicular to this line that's passing through the point 4, comma, negative 6. So the first thing you have to know is you have to know the slope. So just like the parallel examples, you want to look at the slope of the old line. So the slope of the old line is 2. If I'm trying to make it perpendicular, remember that means you need to flip and negate, since it's perpendicular. So when I flip and negate this, remember 2 is like saying 2 over 1. So if you flip it, it becomes 1 over 2. You negate a positive, it's going to become a negative. If it were a negative when you negate it, it would become a positive. So it's always just going to be switch the sign. So my slope is going to be negative 1 over 2, which means on a graph, if you were to go to count that, so your perpendicular slope is negative 1 over 2, which means you're going to be going down 1 since it's negative, and we're always going to travel to the right 2. And we have to pass through this point for negative 6, so I'm going to start there. So I'm going to start at that point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, down 6, so 2, 4, 6. And I need to count this slope, so down 1, right 2. The only problem is I'm going away from the y-intercept, so I'm going to go backwards so I can find it. So go backwards, and you find the y-intercept. I'm just going to continue this so I can connect it. So up 1, left 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect it, because it does say to graph it. So here's my line. And I'm going to come up with the equation. So I have the slope is negative 1/2. The y-intercept is right here. So the y-intercept is going to equal 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 4. So the equation of this line is going to be y equals, so negative 1/2 x minus 4. So there's the equation graphically. Now remember, there's going to be times though where you guys are going to see fractions and you're not going to be able to find the y-intercept. Like the y-intercept might cross at some decimal. So algebraically, you still have to find the slope like what we did, but then you need to find the y-intercept algebraically if you can't find it on the graph. So to find the y-intercept, this is where you're going to plug the point into y equals mx plus b, but make sure that you're using the perpendicular slope. So what that means is this is going to be my x comma y. My slope, I know, is negative 1/2 if I'm doing the perpendicular line. So I'm going to use y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to plug this point and the perpendicular slope into this. So that's going to be negative 6 for y, negative 1/2 for m, x is 4, and then I solve for b. So this is algebraically, I should get -4. It's just, if this was a fraction, you wouldn't be able to do it on a graph, which is why plugging in the point will always work. And just make sure that you always use the perpendicular slope when you plug in if you're trying to find the equation that's perpendicular to the original. So now I just simplify this. So this is like saying 4 divided by -2. So it'll be -2 plus b. Add 2 to both sides. So you get -4. So again, we get -4 as a y-intercept, just like what I got on the graph. Take your y-intercept, take your slope, and now you can write your equation. So this will be step 3. So it'll be y equals -1/2 x minus 4. So again, same answer as on the graph, different way of doing it.